Jimbo's Garage.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Jimbo's Garage. Well, today is a pretty exciting day for me. We're going to be installing our new vise sent out by our friends from Yost, the 750 Di. And I'm not going to be messing around today installing this thing. We're going to be using a variety of hardware. I'm going to be using a pair of 5/8 by 7-inch long bolts, one 6-inch by 1/2 inch lag screw, and another 5/8 by 3-inch bolt, and a series of washers. And the reason why we're going big on these bolts right here is the way that my bench is configured. I want to through bolt this thing through the framing all the way through and get a washer and a nut up from the very bottom of it, so to be sure that it's nice and secure. And I've got one area that I'm not going to be able to through bolt all of this, and that's where the lag screw comes in. But being this thing is a 1/2 inch by 7 inches long, I'm going to be drilling this thing right through down in. It's going to be a very secure connection. So with that said, let me show you how we're going to get it done. Okay, so I got a pretty unique location right here on my workbench. This is where I want to install the vise, and what makes it unique is I'm able to use it from the front side here and also move it to the side. So I've got two locations of where I can use the vise, and it's important mounting this vise that you have access to both sides, that your vise is not going to be mounted too far this way or too far this way, because when you put stock in, you want to be sure that everything goes all the way down and you don't have the vise too far in or too far out. So it's critical of the layout of the holes and where they're going to go. Okay, we're going to get started by moving the vise into position where it's potentially going to be mounted, and we're going to get started with somewhere right about here. Now, what I'm going to do is measure. What we need to do is to be sure that when we put something in the vise right here and clamp it down, that the workbench is not going to be in the way and be both this direction and this direction over here. So I've already pre-measured, and I can offset this thing by about 2 inches from the center of the bolt to here, and I still have room to put something vertically in the vise that's not going to be in the way with the workbench. However, I do have to take something into consideration. I have a 1-inch overhang with my workbench right here, and then I've got a 2x4 underneath here that's 1.5 inches. So with this 1 inch and then 3/4, which is half the distance of the 2x4, I need 1.75 inches from the center of the bolt to the face of the bench right here. And that's going to be able to, when I drill through the top of the bench through the 2x4, I'm going to be in the center. And that way we'll be able to bolt it up through the center this way. And yet that's still going to allow me clearance this way and this way. So I'm going to go ahead and get that measured out. Okay, right there is 1.75 inches. This one needs a little bit of adjustment. There's 1.75 inches right there. 1.75 inches right there to the center. And I guess what we should do is check and see, double check before we do anything here. I've got a piece of pipe right here. We'll put this in here, crank this down, and we have clearance and plenty of clearance here. So we're good. Everything is good. All right, so we're going to drill out 3 of the holes right here that are going to accept the 5/8 bolts. And I'm going to be using this 5/8 spade bit. It's a long one. It's the only thing I have. I have to be sure that I go all the way through the top of the work surface, which is about 1.25 inches, and through the 2x4 down here. So this is what I got. So let's go ahead and get these things drilled out. Okay, so we've got the 3 5/8 holes drilled. Now the next one's going to be the lag bolt. Now that's going to take a different size drill bit. So I'm going to take this spade bit out, and I've got like a 1/4 inch by 5 inch drill right here, and this is what we're going to use. But before I go ahead and drill this pilot hole in here, I notice I've got a couple of nails that are right here in my workbench that's just right in line where we're going to be putting this lag bolt. I'm going to go ahead and I've just got a nail puller right here, and we should be able to just get right in here and pop these things out. Got a couple screws right next to it. It's going to be out of the way. Go ahead and get this thing bolted up, but what we're going to do is we're going to put a washer on here, and if you see that this 5/8 washer right here fits nicely right on there, where the standard 5/8 washer is much larger, doesn't fit good, looks big and ugly. So I got the smaller one. I'm going to go ahead and put that on here, drop it in. Okay, you notice that I put a washer on the top and a washer on the bottom. The reason why we want the washer on the bottom especially is when we crank this down, now I've got some pull force. So if I have to crank down on this vise with some bigger material, we're not going to want to pull the nut through the wood right here. It's got a nice big flat washer right here to hold against it. And we've done that all the way around except for the lag bolt here. Okay, we're down to the last lag bolt right here. I've drilled it all in. So let's go ahead and crank this thing down, and then we'll go ahead and tighten up the bolts, and we should be close to being done. All right, well there it is. All 4 bolts are secure. The vise is really secure, and there it is, rotating 360 degrees. Okay, I'm really excited about my partnership with Yost, and I'm really glad that they've given me this opportunity to show you guys what an awesome vise they really have. This vise is going to be in a lot of videos to come, and we'll be able to show you all the really cool features that it has. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe for more.
See you next time on Jimbo's Garage.